Hi there, I'm Lucas from Magoosh. Welcome to Toefl Tuesdays. Today we're going to continue the series that we have done for the last few episodes about Toefl tips for specific sections. And we've already done reading and listening, so now we're on to reading, listening, speaking, the third section on the Toefl. So I have some speaking advice for you today. The speaking section is my favorite Toefl section. Favorite because it's so strange. No other test has a section like the Toefl speaking section. It is the only time when you're going to listen to a lecture, read a text, and then talk to a computer into your microphone about what you just heard and read. You don't do that on other speaking tests. It's only the Toefl. And so, that brings me to the first problem that students have, knowing the format. I once read a story, not a story, but a little piece online that somebody had written about their experience taking the Toefl. And funny thing about this person is they didn't know the format of the test, but they were a native speaker who was going to teach the Toefl soon. So they had decided that to learn the format of the Toefl, they would take it. And then they would know more about the test, and then they could teach their students better. So this is a brand new teacher who doesn't know the format. And they go in, and they take the Toefl, and they come out, and they say, wow, that was a lot harder than I thought. And specifically, not knowing the format caused problems. And I thought when I read this, must be the speaking section, because knowing the format of the speaking section changes everything. If you know what you're going to talk about and for how long you're going to talk about it, then you're much, much, much better prepared than someone who has no idea what the format will be, because it is so specific and so structured and so unique, so strange. Now, that, of course, lends to the very obvious advice of experience. You need to practice the Toefl speaking section many times before test day. You need to know what question 1 will be, what question 2 will be, what question 3 will be. I can go on, there are 6. You need to know exactly what types of questions you'll see so you can think about what the structure of your answer will be, what you will say, what types of words you'll use, what grammar structures you'll use, etc. Now that, again, it sounds very obvious. Experience, experience, experience. Everyone knows that experience helps, but practice for the speaking section is especially important. It's one thing to practice speaking with friends. It's another thing to practice speaking for the Toefl. It's different. So you need actually both, ideally, but focus on that Toefl specific practice. The next problem is, well, I've said this before, I'll say it again, but on the Toefl, it's very easy to be distracted during the speaking section because you're going to be in a room with many people speaking into their microphones at the same time. And that is really distracting. It's hard to focus on what you're saying when the person next to you is answering the same question. So, there's no easy solution to this, but my favorite is to focus on your outlines. Before you speak, you have 15, 20, or 30 seconds to outline your response, depending on which question it is. You're going to use that time to just write very quick notes about what you will say and the structure of your response. What you say first, what you say second, what you say third. And then while you're speaking, if you hear somebody talking about the same topic and you get distracted, then you can refocus on your notes, on your outline, and think, okay, I'm talking about this, and then I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about that. And you can move through and stay oriented, stay focused according to that outline. So outlines are very much important for TOEFL speaking. Again, I'm Lucas from Magoosh, and this was TOEFL Tuesday, TOEFL Tips Part 3 on the speaking section. Next week, we will do the writing section of the test. Until then, happy studying.